You've tried waking up earlier. You've tried productivity hacks, clean diets, meditation apps. You've optimized your morning routine, tracked your sleep, answered every message, crushed every deadline. And still, you feel empty because what you need isn't another system. What you need is stillness, real stillness. Not scrolling in silence, not waiting for the next notification, but the kind of stillness where your thoughts echo, where boredom doesn't scare you because you're no longer running from yourself. We've confused rest with recovery. Recovery for what? More hustle, more output, another week of pretending you're okay? This isn't laziness. This isn't failure. This is your body begging you to stop surviving and start feeling alive again. You're not lazy. You're tired of constantly bracing for the next blow. You're tired of performing normal while your mind screams for relief. You're tired of hiding exhaustion behind polite smiles and carefully curated feeds. And somewhere deep inside, this is not how life is supposed to feel. But the world keeps telling you otherwise. That you're not doing enough. That success is a mindset. That burnout is a badge of honor. And that rest is only earned when you're already broken. You're praised for grinding. You're ignored when you collapse. This society doesn't punish with whips or chains. It punishes with expectations, with goals you never chose, with endless invitations to optimize, improve, become. You are not a machine. You were never built to be always on. And yet, here you are, treating every moment of peace like a guilty secret. As if calm is dangerous, as if stopping makes you weak. But stopping might be the most powerful thing you ever do. Stillness is not laziness. It's medicine. It's the moment your nervous system exhales. It's when your thoughts catch up with your heart and your soul finally speaks because you're quiet enough to listen. You don't need a new morning routine. You need an evening where you sit in silence and feel your breath return. You need a day with no plans, an hour where you stare at the ceiling and let time pass without guilt. You need to remember what it feels like to exist without performance. You weren't born to earn your rest. You were born to live, breathe, and experience being without shame. But somewhere along the way, we forgot that. We learned to measure our lives in to-do lists, not joy. We replaced connection with networking, love with validation, and rest with recharging so we can work again. Everything became a means to an end. Even healing has become a hustle. Even self-care feels like a checkbox. Even your sadness is expected to be inspirational. You've heard the phrases, mindset is everything. If you wanted it bad enough, you'd find a way. You have the same 24 hours as Beyoncé. You know what these are? They're not motivation. They're subtle violence. They're the language of a system that teaches you to blame yourself for feeling human. You're not lazy. You are resisting a culture that profits off your self-doubt. Let's talk about fatigue. Not the kind that goes away after a nap. Not the tired you feel after a long day at work. But the kind of fatigue that's woven into your bones. That deep, silent exhaustion that no sleep seems to fix. That fog behind your eyes when you wake up. That aching weight in your chest when no one's looking. You don't want to sleep. You want to escape. That's not burnout. That's not tiredness. That's spiritual depletion. It's your soul trying to breathe in a world that only wants output. You've spent so long trying to fix yourself. But maybe there was nothing wrong with you. Maybe you were never meant to fit into a world so obsessed with endless doing. Maybe your sadness, your fatigue, your stillness is sacred. A rebellion. A whisper from your deeper self that says, this isn't living. When was the last time you did nothing and didn't feel guilty? When was the last time you stared out the window and let your mind wander? When was the last time you ate slowly, sat silently, walked with no headphones, and let the wind remind you that you are alive? You weren't made for constant stimulation. You were made to feel grief, joy, stillness, confusion, peace, without explaining it. You know what real strength is? Not pushing through. It's saying, I'm done betraying myself just to meet expectations that never end. It's saying, I matter even when I'm not producing anything. It's whispering, I give myself permission to rest. Let go of the grind culture. Let go of the timelines. Let go of the false urgency. This isn't about quitting your goals. It's about remembering you are not your goals. You are a soul in a body, and that body is tired of being treated like a machine. Give it what it truly needs: rest, kindness, unstructured time, freedom from performance. And yes, people will misunderstand. They'll call you lazy, unmotivated, soft. Let them. They don't know the courage it takes to stop. They don't know what it's like to carry invisible wounds. They don't know that choosing peace in a world that glorifies chaos is its own kind of revolution. You're not lazy. You're finally listening. You're finally hearing the voice you silenced for years. The one that said, "I'm not okay. I can't do this anymore. I just want to feel something real." Let that voice speak now. Let it guide you. You don't need to do more. You need to feel more. And that starts with stopping. Close your eyes. Take one breath. Feel the weight you've carried for years. And as you exhale, let some of it go. You are not broken. You are just tired of surviving. And that means you're finally ready to start living.